friends, I'm Katelyn Workman and welcome to my YouTube channel where I empower and encourage other photographers. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys wedding photography posing tips. Before we even get started, I want to make sure that you have grabbed my free posing guide. The link is in the description, so pause this, go grab it. It's going to give you the confidence that you need at your next session, and it's just super valuable. So make sure if you haven't grabbed it, you grab it before we get started. So now we're going to talk about wedding posing tips. I could do an entire course on posing. Will do that in the future. So if you guys aren't on my email list, make sure you're on my email list because I give out free education every single week. We'll be sharing about new courses and things like that there first. So make sure that you're on that list if you want to hear about things like that. But one of the most important tips that I can give you in regards to posing is to make sure that you make your couples feel confident. That you have confidence and you make them feel confident. Personally, I think that this is the most important thing when it comes to posing. You could have an entire Pinterest board full of cute poses that your couple wants and that you want. You could have this entire board filled and you could do every single one of those poses with your couples. But if your couples feel awkward or uncomfortable or self-conscious while they're getting into each of those poses, they're not gonna like those pictures, no matter how cute the poses are. Because if they feel like, oh, I'm really insecure, I don't like the way that I look, then when they go back and look at those pictures, then they're gonna feel that way when they see the pictures, and they're not gonna like the pictures, even though the composition was beautiful and the lighting is beautiful. If they felt ugly taking the picture, they're not gonna like it. So it's really, really important to make sure that they feel confident. And you might think, well, duh, Katelyn, but how do I do that? So if you are not naturally good at this, here are a couple things you can do. First, start with connecting with your clients. Make it about a relationship with them from the very beginning. As soon as you start interacting with your clients, whether it's via email or Instagram or however you're interacting with them, you want to make them feel like you're a real person. You want to make them feel comfortable, and you want to make them feel like seen and heard, just like you do in any other friendship, in any other relationship. So take the time to just get to know them. Ask how they met. If you haven't already done this, you can ask what their favorite date idea is. If you need to write a list of questions to ask, you can do that. It's fine. I've talked with several people in coaching sessions who I'm talking them through different ways to connect with clients, and they're like, this doesn't come naturally. I'm not very good. I'm introverted. I'm not very good at connecting with people. And that's okay. It's okay to have a little bit of an outline that you need to go into your session with. It's okay to have that stuff prepared if you need to. Ask them about themselves. Find some connecting points. What's their favorite restaurant or what's their favorite date idea, and just kind of like get to know them. If you start, as soon as your couple gets out of the car, you immediately put them in a spot and you start taking their pictures and start posing them, they're gonna feel uncomfortable. So even if you have to take about 15 minutes before the session to spend the time talking with them and getting to know them, it's worth it. Trust me, even if your session was only 30 minutes, that first 15 minutes is so valuable and so important. So take that time, get to know them, make sure that you feel comfortable with them so that you can guide them and make them feel confident. Second is make sure that you understand what they're looking for, and if they have any insecurities, you can just ask them, like, do you have a good side? I always ask girls, I don't like this side. Personally, I like this side so much better. So if a photographer is posing me and I'm facing this way in all of the pictures, I'm not gonna use a single one of those pictures. And maybe that makes me sound like a diva, but I just feel self-conscious about the way that my hair looks on this side. So if your couple feels that way, you need to make sure that you ask them ahead of time. I personally feel self-conscious about the way that my arms look. It's just not my most flattering feature. And so if the photographer is posing me in a way that's drawing attention towards my arms, I'm not gonna like them. So if you can ask your couples things like that, what are you insecure about? Or do you have a good side? Is there anything I need to look out for? Then you're also building trust with them when you are telling them, okay, I'm looking out for this. Typically, almost everybody has one thing that they're insecure about or that they are nervous about. And so if you just go ahead and find that out right in the beginning, it's gonna make them feel so much more confident. So I think that's the first most important thing. One thing, not two. First most important thing is making sure that they feel confident. Those are a couple ways to do it. Another way to do it is just by really hyping them up. It's your job to really cheer them on. When they look amazing, tell them that they look amazing and just encourage them throughout the whole session. If you're taking their pictures and you put them in a pose and then you're like, oh, snap. Okay, we're gonna do this pose, snap. Okay, we're gonna do this pose, snap. They're like, okay, well, did I do it right? Do I look okay? Do I look awkward? But if you're like, oh my gosh, you guys look amazing. Have you done this before? You just really obnoxiously hype them up and do it in a genuine way. But if you really hype them up, then they're just gonna feel so much better and they're just really gonna love those photos later. So that's your first tip, is to make sure that they feel confident. Second is to create a posing flow. Now, if you guys grabbed my free posing guide, I show you a sample posing flow, but I don't want you to just like screenshot that and only do my poses. I want you guys to actually go in there and edit it yourself and create your own posing flow, because chances are you already have some poses that you are doing every single session, and you don't want to just like copy every single pose that I do or copy every single pose that you see on Pinterest. You want to make sure that you have something that works for you. This is something that I have done with coaching clients, is we actually like walk through what poses that they have and we actually create their own posing flow, which is really fun. So that's something that you guys can do, or if you need help, please reach out. I'd be happy to schedule a coaching call with you guys and create that for you. But for now, just go ahead and grab that posing guide and work through that. But you want to create a posing flow because you don't want to, okay, here's a really pretty spot. I'm going to go and I'm going to set them up in this pose, and okay, I'm going to take this one picture, but the lighting's gorgeous and the composition's gorgeous, and you have them right there and you put them in one or two poses, and then your mind blanks and then you move on to another spot. You don't want that to happen. If you have a spot that is really beautiful, you want to be able to go right through a flow, because one, it gives you variety, and two, it just makes them feel comfortable. If you move them from pose to pose to pose really quickly and you're like, okay, great, do this, like really quickly, then it just makes them feel more comfortable than like, okay, I want you guys to wrap your arms around each other, put your foreheads together, and I want you guys to stay there. Snap, snap, snap. Okay, keep staying there. And they're just like staying there for such a long time and they feel so awkward. If you have a posing flow, then you can just like move right on into the next pose. So I'm gonna show you guys a quick, just here, boom, boom, boom. Here's a posing flow that I would do. And here's some examples. So you can start with them smiling at the camera and then have them smile at each other. You can have them kiss or do a forehead kiss and smile at each other. And do you guys see how quickly it's like boom, 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 boom? That's how you want your posing flow to be. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful. Make sure that you make your couples feel confident and you create your own posing flow. If you have any questions about creating a posing flow, please just email me anytime. Drop a comment. Drop a question in the comments. I'd be happy to help you with that. Or like I said, if you want to schedule a coaching session to really dive deep into this and create your own posing flow, I'm happy to do that too. As always, I am cheering you guys on, and I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.